Grab your bag, you scored.
Excuse me?
Just kidding. Actually, I've been watching you from across the room.
You had me kind of distracted. By the way, you owe me a drink.
How's that?
Because I dropped mine when I saw you walk in.
I think he's too confident. The guy we're looking for won't be cocksure.
Nah, he's just a cock. All right, pass this one on, guys. He's not the scissor killer. He doesn't fit the profile.
Thanks. But no thanks.
Just like every Friday night of my life, really.
So what do you do?
Me? I'm a cop.
That must be a fascinating job.
I think so.
Doesn't necessarily rule him out. Half your lot end up crossing over.
Most shrinks crack up, don't they?
You're not gonna like that.
Oh, Vic, not in the van yet.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. You're reformed. You know, Mac and I met through smoking. She was always bumming off me at uni.
Excuse me, I think you were the one
Hey,
who's...
you remember that psych lecturer you had a thing for? Adrian...
Oscar's not interested in ancient history.
She's never been the same since she quit.
So do you come here often, Darren?
I thought I was supposed to ask you that. Sometimes, yeah. I go to a lot of places around here.
Just thought I might have seen you before, that's all.
I would have remembered you. I like blondes.
This one sounds promising.
Here's a Darren.
I get that.
Darren Fulton, homicide suspect number 3. He was at the club where the last woman went missing.
Hey, can we get a description?
Late 20s, early 30s, dark hair, about 170, 180 centimetres.
Does it show?
Glasses. Wears a jumper around.
Could be him.
Okay, Pete, here's the plan.
Righto, will do.
Well, might get going. See you around.
Okay, bye.
Danny's on the way out. Looks like he's staying put. Hang on, he's on the move, Mac. We've struck gold.
Okay, Pete, tail him.
Target is following Danny. Mac, he's followed her into the car park. Do you want us to move in?
Not yet. Don't approach unless he makes a move. Danny knows the routine.
Can't get the car in case we have to follow them.
Here.
False alarm, Mac. He's gone to his own car.
Night then.
Night. Can I help you?
Would you like a flower? I've got some left.
No.
Thank you.
Who the hell is that?
It's bloody flower seller. Where'd he come?
Close as you can without being seen, Pete.
It's on the house. It's only going to die.
Why not? Thank you. It's very sweet. Well, I should be going.
Oh, wait.
He's got a weapon. I'm moving in.
Police, don't move! Drop it, now! On the ground!
you let it run another minute, you might have given me something to charge him with.
Oh, I should have let him stab my operative.
Oh, sense of humour, I like that. Hey, Campbell, get those scissors down to forensic, will you? And wake up the magistrate. I want to get a search warrant for this fruitcake's house. Clock's ticking.
I know it. Okay. What about assault?
I'd have problems making that stick even in the Northern Territory. And who is this guy anyway? He's not even one of our suspects.
Yeah, I know, but we're fairly sure he's worth pursuing.
And you've given me 6 hours to interview him. And who's we?
I got a profiler on board to help us get a handle on the offender.
Don't tell me you subscribe to all that psycho babble.
We've got 3 people dead and you haven't solved it, Frank. You need all the help you can get.
Yeah.
And be polite, she's a friend.
I'm never polite.
Vicky! Vicky Quinlan, this is Frank Callahan. Frank's the new head of homicide.
Pleased to meet you, Frank. I was hoping you might allow me to observe the interview.
Be a pleasure, Vicky.
Be warned, he's a skeptic.
Interview commenced at 2:57 a.m. between Detective Inspector Frank Callahan and Martin Andrew Steadman.
How long's Frank been head of homicide?
Not long, 6 weeks maybe. He came down from Darwin to do the job.
You didn't go for it again?
No, it's all a bit fresh, really. Maybe down the track.
You ever been in trouble with the police before, Martin?
That was a long time ago.
You know, I never really understood what people get out of stealing women's knickers off the line.
I don't do that anymore.
That's right, you graduated to flashing, didn't you?
I was never charged.
Well, what about the stalking then?
That was a misunderstanding.
Don't antagonise him, Frank. Get him talking.
I don't have to answer your questions.
I'm afraid you do, Martin. Where were you last Wednesday night?
Why do you want to know?
And the Wednesday before that? What is with you and Wednesdays, man? Hey? And blondes? You got a problem with blondes?
Look, I don't know what all this is about.
It's about you assaulting a woman.
I didn't assault her.
What were you gonna do with the scissors? Give her a friggin' haircut?
I used the scissors to trim the roses. I gave her a rose. I wanted to trim it for her.
And her? What did you do to her, Martin? And where are her shoes?
What shoes? I don't know anything about shoes.
He's lying.
Okay, Martin.
I reckon this guy's got a psychiatric history.
Slowly and painfully.
How did you work that out?
Well, with his record, he'd be ordered by the court to take a psych assessment.
It's a nice place for a boy like you to make some friends.
Yeah, all right. I knew that.
Interview suspended at 3:01 a.m. pending further investigation.
I reckon this is the guy, Mac.
We need hard evidence. There's no point talking to him. He's not going to give it up, the little prick.
His personality type won't respond well to antagonism. He needs approval to talk.
Yeah, well, thanks for telling me how to suck eggs, okay? Do you realise bringing your shrink down here is practically inviting him to play the insanity card? So how long has Martin Steadman been your patient?
About 2 years. The court appointed me as a condition of his bail.
And you've been seeing him regularly since then?
On a weekly basis, yes. I believe he was making progress, so this comes as a surprise.
Dr. Hartley, it would help me if I could see your records on Steadman's treatment.
Was that really necessary? As I said to you on the phone, in my opinion, Steadman isn't capable of these crimes.
Scissors were used as a murder weapon. Now, he was seen following a woman that matched the description of the victims, and he pulled a pair of scissors on her. And that's enough to make him a person of interest in my book.
I'd like to help you in every way I can, but there is an issue of patient confidentiality.
I understand what we're asking is unconventional, but you also have a duty of care to the public.
All right, Detective. Look, I think the best way to reassure you there's no danger is probably to give you the file.
Can I send a man back with you to collect it?
Certainly.
Johnson, can you escort the doctor
Once I
back to
get
the
that
control
file,
room?
I'm sure I can crack Steadman.
Thanks for your cooperation.
Oh, my pleasure.
Nothing on the scissors. The type does match the victim's wounds, but very common. Most hardware stores stock them.
What about the warrant? We've got only 3.5 hours. Just enough time to search his house.
Mind if I join you? It might give me some insight into his psyche.
Sure, as long as you don't feel compelled to share it with me.
Charming.
Start in the backyard. There's a shed, check it out.
Righto, boss.
You right there?
How's it going?
Not bad.
It looks like the house of an older woman. It's remarkably neat and tidy for a single bloke.
Well, he's obviously gay.
Frank. Hey, Vic, these are all women's magazines. Old ones. Yes. I'll bet this is his mother's house. It's like he's trying to preserve it in some way.
Well, this isn't girly stuff.
Oh, an active interest in pornography. A generic characteristic of this type of offender.
Along with most of the adult male population.
No, this is different. Because he associates violence and sadism with sexuality.
He subscribes to Police Journal. What's that about?
Fascination with militaristic or paramilitary type organisations. Another generic characteristic.
Yeah, that's great. So far, your profile could equally describe me. You want to be a help? Find us the murder weapon, okay?
Hey, Matt, look at this. Mum was a blonde.
Like the victims.
So he hates his mother, is that it?
It's probably more complicated than that. Maybe the opposite, in fact.
Oh, Dr. Quinlan says he's our killer because he loves his mother. I'll be laughed out of court.
Okay, Frank, it's not evidence, but we're on the right track.
Based on what I've seen here today, I think this is our guy.
Well, that's that. Our 6 hours are up.
You're not going to let him go, are you?
Look, we're out of time and we've got nothing on him.
His mother is clearly the archetype of the victims. Having seen his home, I am convinced Stedman is the killer.
Yeah, and according to Hartley, he's harmless, and his file confirms it.
But he fits the profile. He is the right age. He has a history of stalking. He frequents the bars where the victims went missing.
Yeah, and all of that is circumstantial, okay?
He followed Mac's operative.
Vic, I'm sure you're right, but without hard evidence, we can't legally hold him. That's the system.
And the system sucks. He'll kill again.
Yeah, well, you better make sure he doesn't, eh?
Yeah, we're on him, Matt. Righto, will do.
I could do with some breakfast.
Yeah, some real coffee would be great.
Ellen. Hi.
Nick, how are you?
Yeah, good.
Vicky Quinlan, this is Nick Jardine. Vicky and I are working together on a homicide case.
Yeah, well, I guess you weren't here to the Vice Squad.
No.
So, what's he like, Callahan?
Oh, let's just say what you see is what you get.
Makes a nice change.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you could put in a good word for me.
Things are a bit hectic at the moment, but yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Right. Well, don't let me keep you waiting. I'll give you a call about that other case tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
You're sleeping with him.
Huh?
Ever noticed how serial killers have got this thing about roses? Not particularly. What about that wacko Donald a couple of years ago? Yeah, so there could be a link. You might be onto something there, Stoney. Yeah, you reckon? No. You right there? What? Would you stop squirming about? Shits me. can't get comfortable.
Do you, get that problem sorted out?
Yeah. They gave me a fine needle biopsy.
Ugh. Why didn't you say something?
The doctor says there's no cause for alarm. It's just a precaution, you know. Can't afford to take any chances with the old tackle.
Right.
It's an interesting procedure, actually. There's this popping sound, like a pen piercing the skin of an orange.
Hey.
What?
Too much information.
Sorry.
When do you get the result?
Tomorrow. I'm not worried.
So, what's Callahan's problem?
He's under a lot of pressure. This is his first big case. He's trying to prove himself.
Pissing on trees?
Exactly. You really think it's worth trying to bait Stedman again?
Absolutely. We know more about the triggers to use, the hair, the clothes.
Yeah, but won't he twig that we're setting him up?
He's not that smart. You put the scent under his nose and he'll go for it. He won't be able to resist.
Yeah, that's the best. Got to be you every smell. Good.
You obviously like roses.
Yeah, I sell them.
They're beautiful. I always keep roses in the house.
How are we doing, Oscar?
No go, Mac. He doesn't seem interested. Just...
How much for these?
$12.50.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Mac, Angie's on the move and Stedman's following her.
Okay, Oscar, stay close. Yep, Mackenzie. When? Are you sure?
Hey, Julie, want a lift?
What's up?
Mac just pulled the plug. Get in.
Time of death?
Between midday and 1.
Stedman was at home, gardening. I had 2 operatives on all day.
Well, he's obviously not our man. We've just pissed an entire day up against the wall chasing the wrong bloke. This Darren Fulton was at the bar where the last victim went missing. We should have been looking at him.
I'm still convinced Stedman is the killer.
How can he be? Not unless Ellen's people went to sleep while he pissed off to murder another victim.
Then there has to be another explanation. Forensics got the time of death wrong, or...
Why don't you just admit you're wrong?
Oh, because we've seen him in action. He's followed 2 of Mac's operatives. He's demonstrated an intention to kill.
This is not the almost homicide squad. I don't have time for this.
Martin Stedman is the killer. Mac, you know him, right?
I know he fits the profile, but he does have an explanation for the incident with Danny, and maybe the blonde mother's just a coincidence. I think we have to move on with the investigation.
I see.
Sorry to interrupt, boss. Problem.
Now, Martin Stedman has tried to kill himself.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear
Doesn't that suggest that he's guilty?
Now, given you my full cooperation, I've made my file available. It supports what I've already told you. My client isn't capable of these crimes.
Then why did he attempt suicide?
Well, in my opinion, it was police harassment.
Are you aware that your client stalked another woman this afternoon?
Well, no, I wasn't. How do you know that? You set him up.
It is a legitimate strategy to identify an offender.
Oh, I struggle with what you call legitimate. What you've done is treat an innocent person like a criminal.
He's hardly innocent. We offered the bait and he took it.
No, that's an abuse of your position, Doctor. I question your credibility on this.
Dr. Hartley, we've moved on in our investigation. I can assure you we won't be troubling your client any further.
I'm afraid the damage has already been done. Now, this type of harassment can't be tolerated. Now, I intend to make a formal complaint to your Ethics and Standards Division.
Mac, can I have a word?
I need a cigarette. You two have your chat. See you later. Yeah.
Vic, it's Mac.
Well, come on out. The door's open.
Thanks. You still working?
Call it personal interest. I'm off the case, aren't I? Thought so. And he even sent you to tell me, the soft cock.
Actually, I thought it might be better coming from me.
Thanks, but I'm not intimidated by Callahan. Want one?
No, thanks.
What does upset me is that Stedman is still out there.
You still think Stedman's responsible?
I've been going over Stedman's file from Dr. Hartley.
Which supports everything that Dr. Hartley told us. Stedman's making progress. He can tell the difference between fantasy and reality. He's harmless.
And it's a complete work of fiction.
You're saying that file
It's total bullshit. It's a fake.
Oh, come on, Vic.
I can tell genuine clinical notes when I see them. Look, Stedman attempted suicide, yet there is no mention of those tendencies. They're not hard to pick.
Why would Hartley do something like that?
Because he knows Stedman's the killer. He's protecting him.
That's a real stretch.
Well, what are you implying? What, that I'm paranoid? Well, why don't you just say that?
Why can't you ever admit that you're wrong?
Yeah, thanks for your support today, Mac. You've been a real friend.
That's not fair.
Really? I thought friends supported each other. Gave each other the benefit of the doubt.
Thought you would have gone home.
No, I came to pick up some stuff.
How'd Vicky take the news?
Not well. She thinks it's Stedman, right? But she thinks that Hartley's protecting him.
What do you think?
I don't know, Pete. She's a friend and I trust her judgment, but...
Yeah, but how well do you know her?
Oh, really well. We went to uni together. We were great mates.
So you'd know?
Well, yes. And she's had some great results on other cases. I wouldn't have brought her on otherwise.
Well, what's the problem? She's off the case, but you can keep her in the loop.
Unofficially. Callahan thinks she's lost it.
You're gonna have to trust those old instincts on this one, Mac.
Yeah. We're going after Hartley.
What? The shrink?
Vicky thinks that he might be protecting Stedman, and I think she might be right.
I thought Vicky was off the case.
Oh, she's the best in her field, and I think she deserves the benefit of the doubt.
What about Hartley's complaint we drove his client to attempt suicide?
Oh, I just got off the phone from Frank Callahan, and apparently Hartley's just made a formal complaint to the Chief Commissioner.
Yeah, didn't waste any time.
And he's going after Vicky with a psychiatric board.
At least he hasn't gone to the media.
It's only 10:30.
And we're not going to sit in our bums and wait. It's time we had a closer look at the good doctor. Where's Oscar?
He had an appointment. He'll be here.
Okay. And Danny, can you get on the computers, do a thorough background check on Hartley?
How'd you go? It's no big deal. Yeah? It's cancer.
Hey?
Testicular cancer.
You sure?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
He wants to operate.
Oh, shit.
I still don't know whether I'm gonna go through with it or not.
What's that?
What do you reckon?
Nah.
Doctor says I should take it home with me. Reckons it'll help me get used to the idea.
Looks like a ping pong ball.
This is the regular size. If I go through with it, I'm gonna get fitted out with a jumbo. Be about that big.
Oh, shit.
Hey, you see where it went?
Yeah, I got it.
What? Oh, no, it's just glad you found it, that's all. Otherwise we wouldn't be able to play table tennis.
You did go to the doctor?
Yeah.
And?
He does want to operate.
When?
As soon as possible.
Hey,
Right.
Oscar. Pete, Mac's office now.
You gonna tell Mac?
Yeah. Later.
Hartley was deregistered 6 years ago. What for?
A sexual indiscretion with a patient. He did a few years as a hypnotherapist and was reinstated 2 years ago.
Dr. Dodgy.
I bet Vicky was right about that fake Stedman file. Peter, see if you can get into Hartley's office and try and get a look at the real thing.
You know how hard it is to get an appointment with the specialist?
Yeah, leave it with me. February, as in next year? Oh, no, you don't understand. This is urgent. I'm seriously unbalanced. I need help right away. Look, my referral, right, says that my condition could be a danger to myself or others.
I thought Stedman was out of the picture.
I is as far as homicide's concerned, but Vicky still thinks he's the killer.
Mac's going out on a limb here, isn't she?
Yeah, well, they're buddies. Went to uni together.
Can't wait for a cancellation. Can't you squeeze me in today? I feel like I'm going to flip out. I don't want to hurt anyone. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Bye. I'm in.
Wasn't much of a stretch.
I feel this pressure. Always inside, like I've got to hit something or someone.
And do you?
I try not to, that's why I'm here.
But how do you stop these aggressive feelings?
Just walk away, you know?
Does that help?
I haven't hurt anyone yet.
But you still have these violent thoughts.
Yes.
Do you ever fantasize about hurting whoever has triggered these feelings? You shouldn't censor yourself. Oh, that's my car. Oh, excuse me, I'll be back in a moment.
Hartley.
Hardly. You're kidding me.
Get a warrant, search his premises. I guarantee you'll find material evidence relating him to the serial killings.
And you know this how?
I can't tell you that.
Oh, don't tell me. Ms. Quinlan had a vision.
How are you going with your other suspects, Frank?
Look, do you realise what a shit fight this would stir up if you're wrong? You haven't even told me what you're looking for.
Shoes.
Shoes.
Left shoes, maybe the victim's shoes. Frank, just get a warrant.
Now, I'm not talking to you about anything until you tell me why I'm here.
Shoes. Women's shoes were found in your filing cabinet. They're presently being examined to determine whether any of them belong to the victims of a serial killer.
Are you suggesting I've committed these murders? Is this some kind of inept payback in response to my complaint?
How do you explain the shoes found in your office?
I use them to treat patients.
Really? How exactly does showing them women's shoes ease their mental distress?
Many of my patients have fetishes. Sometimes using the object of the fetish as a trigger can provoke an emotional response.
And this would be standard practice, would it?
I found it to be an effective tool. I won't comment on what other practitioners may or may not use.
Quick word, boss.
Interview suspended at 7:45 p.m.
It was you all along, wasn't it?
I'm not even going to dignify that with an answer.
Detective Senior.
Oh, this is stuffed. This is twice you've led me up the garden path.
Frank, hang on, what's happened?
Another victim's turned up, that's what. Same MO, same killer.
Well, what makes you so sure it wasn't Hartley?
The crime scene put the time of death around 5 p.m.
Well, he was sitting here right under our noses.
You better start ducking and weeding. The shit is really going to hit the fan.
There are 5 suspects on the table. All of them have a history of sexual misdemeanours.
So we're back on the case.
Well, I stuffed up and Callahan's not going to let me forget it easily. Now, he wants us to go after this guy, Darren Fulton. So go over the files and we'll start work in the morning. See ya. See ya.
Mac. Don't beat yourself up over this.
Hey, I'm all right. I'm fine.
When we found those shoes, looked like we had Hartley cold.
Yeah, well, we haven't, have we?
Well, the guy was dodgy. Think he got that right?
And thanks to me, she's now completely discredited. Hartley will want his pound of flesh.
So, think he's out in the cold?
Well, I wanted to go over the files of these 5 suspects.
Think she'll want to?
I'll soon find out. I'm going to drop them off on my way home.
Want me to come along?
I think I can handle it. I'll see. Where'd Oscar go?
Home. Said he wanted an early night.
Sounds like a nice idea to me.
Me too. Pete. Pete. We're gonna head off.
Hartley says in this statement he couldn't hand over any tapes of his sessions with Steadman because he doesn't tape his sessions.
So?
He taped me.
Step away from the couch. Hands up in the air. Vicky, it's okay. It's all right, hang on. Pete, yeah, can you get over here?
Hello? Hello?
Are you ready with the shoes, Mum? Think how that made you feel. Now keep going. It's natural to feel the things you're feeling.
Is this a wig?
That's all right, Martin. The wig's there to help. Don't let it upset you. Just concentrate on the blonde hair. Now, don't censor yourself. Now, what do you want to tell your mother, Martin?
Hey, police! Don't move! Drop the weapon, now!
Vicky? Vicky, you all right? Oh, thank God. You're okay. You're okay now.
I had to be careful not to judge him. In that case, Martin would have closed down, kept things hidden from me.
So rather than judging him, you encouraged him to murder these women while you watched.
And do you have any idea how little we really know about the minds of these predators? My work with Martin is going to be the basis of a major study, the most comprehensive ever attempted.
And he decides who's normal?
Yeah, it's frightening,
What
isn't
about
it?
the woman that was murdered while we had Stedman under surveillance?
I killed her. I couldn't allow your investigation to interfere with my work. It also gave me some first-hand experience.
Of murder?
What better way to gain valuable insight? Most books on the subject are written by dried-up academics. Mine will be the definitive work.
Interview concluded at 2:12. I suppose I owe you an apology. That tandem thing had me completely bluffed.
There is a name for that, but I'll spare you the psychobabble.
Yeah.
Got a minute?
Yeah, sure. Come in.
I need some time off, a few days.
Well, that shouldn't be a problem. When were you thinking?
As soon as possible.
Right, okay. I'll put in a request. Is everything okay?
Fine. Everything's fine. If you were wondering what to put on the form, just say personal reasons.
Personal reasons?
Yeah. Having a ball removed is kind of personal, I guess.
Be a nice cold slab at my place when you get out, mate. Take it easy on the nurses in there, eh? Yeah. Make sure they only take the one.
Okay, time to rock and roll.
Hang on. Almost forgot. Better hang on to that one. Thanks, mate.